this is about reverse percentages and using reverse percentages to calculate original values. Now, when doing this, what you have to really think about is what percentage of the original amount are you working with. So with this, if we're doing an increase of 10%, what that means is you'll have 100% plus 10, so you're working with 110% of the original amount. If you've got 25% increase, it'll be 25, or 100 add 25, so you're working with 125%. If it's 76% increase, it'll be 100 plus 76, so it'll be 176% increase. Same with working with a decrease. Well, similar, it'll be 100 minus 15. So you're working with 85% of the original amount. If it's 36, 100 minus 36, which is 64% of the original amount you'll be working with. And if it's a decrease of 88%, it'll be 100 minus 88, which is 12% of the original amount. Now that is key for doing this and calculating reverse percentages. So let's move down to some examples and steps. Okay, we've got here, a gym has a 20% increase in members. There are 240 members now. How many members did they have before? So what we've done, we've got a gym, it's gone up by 20%. Just to put this in, or to explain it a bit more, there's now 240 members. They want to know what they had before these people joined. So how to do this, we'll go through the steps. Find the percentage of the original amount. So it's a 20% increase we're working with. So you need to start with 100 plus 20. So we're working with 120% of the original. Now, divide the amount by percentage of the original. So that's what we need to do here. Now, just so you understand what this means, you've got 240 people at the gym. So I'll write this here, 240. This equals 120% of what we're looking for. This is what we've got. So we're going to divide this 240, because that's what we have, by this 120. So we do 240 divided by the 120, and that will give us 2. But because what we need to understand is we're dividing by this percentage, so that equals 1% of people. So this is the step 2, divide the amount by percentage of the original amount to find 1%. So that's what we've done, we found 1%. And then once you've done that, the final step here is to multiply 100 to actually find the original amount, 100% of the original amount. So what we're going to do is times by 100, so that gives us 200, and that is 100%. So your final answer is a 200. So bit by bit, just to recap, from here to here, I did divide by 120. So I did there, divide by 120. And then from 2 to 200, it was times by 100. And then down here, times by 100. All right? Okay, so I've got a second example to have a look at with this. So we've got a car this time. It's decreased by 15% in value, and it now costs £2,550. Find the original value. So what we need to do, find the percentage of the original amount. So it's working with this percentage, and we've got a decrease. So it's known we're doing 100 minus 85, minus 15 this time, because it's decrease, which is 85%. That's what we have. So this amount here, this 2550, so that 2,550 equals 85%. So going through the steps, divide amount by percentage of the original amount to find 1%. So what that means, I'm going to divide 2,550 by 85, divide by 85. So we're doing that on each side, and that will give you a value. If you put it into your calculator there, it should give you a value of 30, and that will be 1%. And then final step, multiply by 100 to find the original amount. So you're going to times each side by 100 to understand. So 30 times 100, and that should give you 3,000 as your amount. So 100%, the original value of that car was £3,000. All right. So we've got 2 for you to give a go this time. All right. Pause it, give it a go, and then I will go over those in a second. All right, so let's do this one here. So we've got some trainers, decreased by 20% to £60. What was the original amount? So it's a decrease. I'm doing 100 minus 20 to get 80%. So there's £60, that's 60 equals 80%. So we've got to divide, that step is now divide by 80, divide 80, divide 80. So it actually equals 0.75 is 1%. And final step, times by 100, times by 100. So it should be £75 is 100%. Right? And then second example here. So there are 15% more people doing a race than this year than last year, basically. There are now 1,725 people signed up. How many signed up last year? That's the question. So it's 15% more. So more is increase. So I've got 100 add 15, which equals 115%. So I know this 1725. So 1,725 equals 115%. So we divide 115. Same this side. Divide 115. So that tells me that, well, 1,725 divided by 115 is 15. That makes that 1%. So final thing, times by 100 each side, times by 100, and I get 1,500 people last year in the race.